Hey everybody, it's Sadie the Wind Sage, and welcome back to Let's Play Kindred Spirits on the Roof. In the last episode, we finished up the main story portion of the summer festival arc, of the school festival arc, and with a very unexpected ending, let's just say. And in this episode, we're going to keep going. We're gonna move on with the cherry events. More specifically, Amishima and Inamoto's cherry events. The date contest ones. And, don't really have much to say before we start, so, let's just dive in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this opening makes a lot of this opening part here pretty much summarizes a lot of what I think of the whole fighting situation. And it does clear one thing up. It does show that Inamoto does not see why Amishima is so bothered by the rules, which I still don't 100% see, but I do understand a bit more on that in that regard. It kind of goes with the whole thing of, I think it kind of, with Amishima, kind of goes that, you know, like, they're in love and she wants to show it, where Inamoto's more like, let's at least wait for high school to finish first. And yeah, I think this entire thing has summarized the situation. It even shows that Inamoto herself did not want to impose all these rules, but had to. Or felt that she had to. And yeah, Amishima crossed the line. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like there's no point to this argument. That was a really loud phone buzz. Yeah, okay, this is another reason this fight is ridiculous, because neither of them want to have it. Neither person in this argument wanted it to last this long. Like, no one in the, like, they both pretty much said this, they both pretty much voiced their opinion on the same matter, and this is also why I care very little about this fight. I have my opinions on, I think, whose fault it is, like that they're both at fault, but who I feel is more at fault and stuff like that. And all that. But at the same time, this fight doesn't matter. Neither of them want to have it. And both of them pretty much just said, if the other apologized, things would have gone back to normal. They're both just being incredibly stubborn at this point. Like, that's the frustrating thing, is like, and they both, like, they're not even like wanting Hina. They both seem to not want to go out with Hina. They just want the satisfaction. They just kind of want the satisfaction of knowing they've won, I guess. They both like, if they've shown that they're both competitive in nature, but this is going straight into ridiculousness. This is the most pointless argument, because neither person involved wants to have it. Like, generally, yeah, people don't want to get into arguments, but usually when you're mad at someone or are fighting with someone, it's generally because you both feel strongly about conflicting viewpoints. And it doesn't feel like that this time. It feels like they're just having this fight for no reason. Like, I hate Matsuri for staying mad. I hate myself for staying mad. Exactly. Like, you do not want to hold on to anger. It is a terrible thing. I know from personal experience. Yeah, like, and the other thing is, like, this argument very much devolved from the original point. It's like, it's first off apparent that neither of them actually want to go out with Hina, first off. And second, it's kind of the thing of like they were mad at it. They were both pretty mad at each other. Inamoto was mad because she felt Amishima went too far. It pretty much completely disregarded the rules. And Amishima's mad. Like, it's hard to put into words. I think why she's mad. I think it's more like she's very frustrated with the rules, but it's kind of hard to put into words. But the point was really made. I think the point of why Amishima was discontent was made apparent back in episode 36, but I have a hard time putting it to words now. But both of them are mad about something that has nothing to do with the conflict right in front of them of which one Hina likes better. So why are they still fighting about this? Seriously, that's why it pisses me off. This is why this fight pisses me off so much. It has nothing to do with what they're actually angry about. They both seem to have gotten over what they were angry about, or at least past that point. They're just being children about it. One of you just apologize already! Seriously! Well, okay, anyway, more on that point, I guess. I think another reason that, Inamoto, I think, said earlier, she doesn't feel like, I think something Inamoto said earlier, she doesn't feel like she was doing anything wrong. Like, yeah, it's kind of a bad thing that she mentioned, that she brought Hina up into that argument and devolved into this mess, but other than that, it seems that she doesn't think she's done anything. It seems that she doesn't think she's done anything wrong and doesn't get why Amishima's mad. So I guess that's why she's not apologizing. But they also both seem to just like realize that the other isn't going to apologize, but are still waiting for that apology that they know they're not going to get. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just this kind of thing with them is kind of stupid. Alright, sorry for the very abrupt cut. Basically stuff happened. Alright then, let's keep going. Oh, crap. Yeah, that, like, crap. I'm just thinking about this now. It's just like, she really just likes Hina over Amishima, apparently. Or at least that's what she's thinking at this moment. Like, crap. So that's why she brought up Hina. I know she said something about saying, like, she preferred Hina earlier, but I didn't think it was to this extent. Alright, anyway. And of, of course she has no, and of course it seems she has no choice in the going out part. Yeah, this is actually another thing that actually just kind of, that was also made the last part all the more shocking with, Hina's confession to Yuna, because, like, again, people even, like, even both senpais right now are just, like, well, at least Inamoto's just like, I wonder if she understands, like, I wonder if Hina really understands, especially the going out part, if not the date part. Like, yeah, like, I was under the impression that Hina just, like, not that she didn't know what this stuff was, but just didn't get it. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking about a bit. But, yeah, then it's just, yeah, but now that it's, like, this essential. But now that, she kind of confessed, it's kind of clear that she at least eventually figured out what both of these two were thinking. I'm something I'm at least glad about these cherry events is that they at least decided they were going to settle things this way. Like they kind of decided that they like that was going to be like it was going to be over after that. Anyway, now it's time for date contest 2, which there's not only going to be two cherry events this sequence, is there? I mean, I imagine there's gonna maybe be one after, like, maybe in this week something, or hell, maybe even in the next month possibly. I doubt that one though, but yeah. Anyway, let's see this second date contest. Fine. Yes, finally. Like, yes. Yes. Man. One of the things that was bothering me with Amishima is that like, during the original sequence, it didn't seem like she got why Inamoto was so frustrated, or like why Inamoto was so angry with her. But Amishima does get it. Okay, that's some progress, and like, yeah, like, she's making a really good point here. She's acknowledging that she kind of started she's acknowledging that she kind of started this, that she kind of started the bad blood between these two by doing what she did. But like, exactly, Miyu's in the wrong too, and Miyu's the one who brought Hina into things first. Yeah, like, like, my opinion on this entire argument, I've thought about this for actually a while now, is that Amishima started this conflict. Inamoto kept it going, as Inamoto kind of pushed it forward. But yeah, okay. Too bad they're both still being incredibly stubborn about this. But yeah. Yeah, and they're both, like, again, they're both justifiably angry at the other. But like, again, I get why they're both angry at each other. It's completely justifiable. But at the same time, it's a case of neither person seems to want to have this fight. Which is why it's frustrating. They both don't want this fight, and, like, yeah. Damn it! So close! Like, obviously I knew that this apology thing wasn't... Amishima was just talking about wasn't going to fan out because they still had this date competition, but jeez! It's like... Things were finally about to end, it seemed. But yeah. Like... Another reason that this whole fight doesn't make sense to me is that I don't think it's not like one would think down to the other for admitting defeat first. I think at the end, once like apologies would have been said and things would have fanned out, they both would have just been relieved and things would have gone on as they did prior. But no, we had to make shit complicated. Like, Amishima does not even want this competition. And Inamoto doesn't really seem to want this fight. So, yeah, neither person wants this, it seems. So, like, the thing with Inamoto, though, is, like, does she really prefer Hina over, like, Amishima? I know, like, when Inamoto mentioned Hina in the argument all that time ago, I thought that was more spur of the moment and she was saying something without realizing completely what she was saying. A little bit like what Amishima was, where it's like, I'm saying this but I'm saying this but I don't want to be. But like, now I'm wondering about Inamoto a little bit. Whatever. Can't change the past or technically present, or whatever time period we're in. We just gotta keep moving forward, I guess. It's almost like she does just want to hang out with you. Hang out for a while instead of going on dates with either of you. Like, that's kind of the thing. Like, again, at first, like, remember, it's like, it shouldn't be surprising. It really shouldn't be surprising that Hina does not seem to want to do this. Like, she has no problem hanging out with these two, but I think it seems more of, well, like, she has no problem hanging out with these two, probably why she agreed to it, but it's like, she probably doesn't see this as a date. Or doesn't want to really see it as a date. She just wants to see it as hanging out with these two. Why? Why must the music go up like frickin', like, from like a good like 25 to like frickin' 50? Like every single goddamn time we switch characters. It's not like, is that supposed to be like is that the voice, is that supposed to be like one of these sound effects things? Cause like I turned the music volume's way down. Whatever. And good, for a little while I thought we weren't going to be able to see the perspective of Inamoto during her date, but it looks like we are. Oh, we don't see the perspective during the date. We see their perspective. We're seeing her perspective post date. Yeah, this is actually going back to what I was saying during this is actually going back to what I was thinking a while ago during their Amishima Summer Day. It's just like you can plan something out and get a good experience, but sometimes you can get completely new experiences by just going in there with no plan and just doing what you feels fun. You pick up some new experiences, whether they're better or worse is up to you. Yeah, something else is like Inamoto does all this like comparing Amishima and Hina, and tries to like point out and is purposely right now trying to point out like think of all of Amishima's faults and Hina's good qualities and contrasts. But at this point, I don't think she's actually like I don't think she actually prefers Hina. She's just telling herself that. Like more of like kind of like it's I feel it's kind of like a pride thing. Like she brought up Hina in her argument because she probably felt at that moment she preferred Hina. And now, but here's the thing: I don't think she prefers Hina over Amishima. I think it's the other way around. I think she likes Amishima more. And so yeah. And this is also a thing they're going through right now in their arc, and while they're still fighting about it, is ironically enough helping patch up that thing I was talking about, but before I didn't really sense much chemistry from them. What this is doing right now is like while they're still angry at each other, and while they're still kind of like pointing out each other's faults over, in contrast to apparently Hina's good qualities, they're also like remembering like good times they had with each other, and kind of like I feel expanding a little more on that. So it's helping me feel better about this couple. I still think it's my least favorite right now, but yeah. Yeah, okay. I like the wait, crap. I like this a little more right here is like this stuff like the okay, Inamoto's actual feelings are kind of coming through a little more. Like Inamoto's feelings are actually coming through. Okay, what am I trying to say? Inamoto's feelings are coming through a little more. So yeah. Yeah, no, this is exactly what I'm thinking. This is, again, she doesn't actually, like, the reason she'd say she prefers Hina is because Hina thinks more like she does. But when it comes to actual feelings, she probably thinks more of she thinks higher of Amishima. Because while, like, Amishima kind of takes her out of her comfort zone, she's never necessarily too object to it, it seems. So yeah. So yeah, like, again, it goes back, neither person wants to have this argument. The justice seemed directed at me. If I were the same as I was this morning, I'd probably be getting angry, but now it just hurts. Yes, finally, like, progress is being made towards recovery for this relationship. Like, they're both having revelations. They're both thinking, they're both admitting a fault. They're both admitting to their faults. They're both kind of admitting to their faults right now, which is good. Yep, knew the music was gonna blast out like that. Yes, yeah, okay, finally. All of this forward progress, okay, this actually, I'll save my opinions for the end of this cherry event, but I'll say I do like the direction all of this is going in. Even if this all stemmed from one of the stupidest arguments I think I've ever seen. you're you're gonna have quite some news your way, Yuna. Trust me.
すっごい久しぶりに振られちゃったよ。ミユと付き合う前以来。
私は初めてだわ。結構答えるものなのね。
ねえミユ、
何？
ヒナの好きな人ってさ。
言っちゃダメ。わかりすぎてるけどね。
だよね。
何？まだショック受けてるの？ひな。
そうじゃないよ。なんていうかさ、ここ1ヶ月以上ヒナを巻き込んで喧嘩した結果、2人揃って振られるなんて何やってんだかって。そう考えたら。
そうね、同感だわ。バカみたいね、私たち。
あ、まったく。
はあ。
何今の。
そうね。
ねえミユ、ごめん。確かに私辛抱が足りません。
私もごめんね。いろんなことが不安になって祭りに。
We couldn't realize those differences we had. No one knew about them, but we were both trying to push our own feelings onto each other. But that's no good. It's not good to try to make someone understand your feelings without trying to understand theirs.
祭りとはずっと付き合ってきたのにね。
うん。結構ずれちゃうもんだね。気をつけないと。まあ本当、ヒナには悪いことしたよね。
本当だわ。これでもしヒナの恋がうまくいかなかったら申し訳ないわ。
それは大丈夫じゃない？
そうね。
うまくいかないようだったら手伝ってあげようかな。
余計なお世話かもしれないわよ。
でもさ、先輩としてアドバイスしてあげたいじゃない？
さっきまでの低たらくで
説得力ないよね。あ、学園祭見て回ろう。もう一回。
そうね。まだ屋台に何か残ってるかしら。気が抜けたからちょっといいね。
なんか食べよっか。行こうみゆ。
Yeah, it looks like there was only 2 cherry events this episode, but whoa, we have a lot of CGs lined up. 6 cherry events? At least. Because, like, you know, they go in the order of this. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 other cherry events at least. I mean, 6 other CG ideas here at least, but yeah, anyway. I'm going to reinstate the purpose of why this was my least favorite couple, and then talk about how all of that was improved right now. The reason these 2 were my least favorite couple was more of because there was a kind of a lack of chemistry between these 2. You know, and their yin-yang dynamic, I feel, didn't work out the way it was going. It seemed more like the story only told us that they were in love, but didn't actually show it through any actions. That's at least how I felt. Even from all the way when we first got to know them all the way back in July, that's what I felt. In fact, one of the first times you see them in the game, in the main story, they're arguing. This was kind of really a big turn off to me as these 2 as a couple. This really made me not like either of them. And my attention just turned off, and it's like, okay, let's move on to a better couple, shall we? But that, I feel, is not the case anymore. I feel that the problems I had with this couple, like even when we met them all the way back in July, kind of resolved about now-ish, actually. We got to see more of their feelings for each other. I guess it's more of what they were thinking in their head about, like, you know, their recollections of old dates and stuff like that. And how they were talking to Hina about each other. So, yeah. And you know what? They both realized their faults. And, you know, again, it kind of goes back to the old thing of their entire situation could have been settled if they just talked about it. And look what happened. They talked about it, and they did. And they kind of settled things. So yeah, and it feels it's really interesting, actually. What's my opinion on this couple now that these cherry events have happened, and I see both characters and this couple as a whole in a way new light? It's probably still one of my least favorites, but not because I have a problem with the relationship, but more because okay, I don't care is not the right words for this, I guess, but it's like, okay, I'm like, Maki and Miki, even though they aren't a couple yet, really like stick out to me, and I'm very curious what their cherry events are going to entail. And I really still love Sono and Kiri's relationship. Zumi and Sasa, who's kind of who's kind of down there right now, but who's kind of also kind of down there because like I like their relationship and their dynamics all right, but it's kind of it also doesn't interest me as much, I guess. And that, and there's also Yoka and Ariu, who really the big problem with that relationship right now is that you don't get to see any of Ariu's perspective, and hey, look, here you go. I think we're gonna resolve that issue next episode. But yeah, so it's still probably one of my least favorites, but not because I don't like it, but because I like some of the other ones better. So yeah, next time on Kindred Spirits on the Roof, I think we're going to be doing Confession Concert 1. I was thinking of doing the night, the night thing first, but yeah. Like, yeah. I remember when I called this the Saint couple. That was a while ago, but yeah. I think next episode we're just going to kind of work on Ariu and Yoko's relationship. See you guys then.